All right, about 15 minutes later, I fixed this one, this bungee strap that holds the, it was easy fix, that holds the padding on. There was, I said this one bungee strap was broken, so I just retied it at the other end, so it'll still work the same as the other one. So I wrap it around there, snap it on itself. It should work fine. And I looped it, already tied it through the bottom web strap of the big net. So I'm undoing these U-bolts. I did one set here. I only had to take one of them all the way off. You can see one set is still screwed on all the way, the same as it would on one of the other ones. It's still on here. See, right, the screws are, the nuts are bolted way onto the bolts. Here they're way onto the bolts. The other one I took off. I didn't want to lose them and didn't want to put them in a bag, so I just screwed them back on here. They're nylon threaded, so the downside is when I unscrew them, I can't do it by hand. Right, that's a nylon insert into that nut. So I had to unscrew it all the way. But now this particular pole that holds the netting on is now only connected on with this one U-bolt at the bottom. So I'm going to undo this guy, and then this thing should just go plunk. Gravity would probably just, oh, that's what I'll do. Gravity is just going to let it fall straight to the ground. So I'll just, rather than have these set up laying in a big mess in the middle, I'm just going to let them fall, and I'll prop them up against this thing right here, and they'll just all lean towards the middle, and then they'll all be separated. But this part will then be sitting on the ground here, right? Gravity, as soon as I undo this, it's going to go shunk straight down, because it probably weighs 10 pounds or so. Yeah, in fact, as soon as I loosen this, I don't even take it all the way off, right? As soon as it's loose, it's being held here tightly, right, because of friction. But once I unscrew one of these, it won't matter which one, I just start unscrewing one of these. As soon as there's a little bit of slack room in here, this post, right, this whole big tall post is going to go gravity thunk, straight towards the center of the earth. So, okay, so I actually shouldn't take too much. So hopefully, the only downside I said is these nuts here are nylon threaded, so they're tight all the way until you get them all the way off. You can't just do them by hand. And if you have a deep well socket, it's called, I think this is a metric, number 10 metric, I think 10 millimeters probably. So if you have a deep well socket, you'll be able to zip these things right on here. I'm gonna go look, because that's gonna make it way faster. Otherwise, you have to I have to unscrew these by hand, and you'll have to screw them on by hand with an open-end wrench. I wonder if I have. I'm gonna look and see if I have a 10 millimeter deep well socket, and then I can just put it on my power drill and zip each one right off. So that's the next step. I'll take another video as soon as I get done with this one. So give me a minute.